Hello friends! Today I was thinking it would be interesting to introduce you to the open geometric shapes. In this case we have obviously a square, here a triangle, and here a square with a bead in. The beauty of these open shapes is that you can have different sizes, different widths, different sizes, and you can create a lot of diversity with them here, using the same color even for increases and just a small different bead in the corners, so they give you a lot of design diversity. And I was thinking today to start with the basic open triangle. To make our triangle the open shape this time, we are going to use again two different colors, one for the increases and one for the sides. We start our open shape, the open triangle, with the first circle, the base circle, made up of the corner bead, 7 beads for the side, corner bead, 7 beads for the side, corner bead, 7 beads for the side, and we just make them in a circle. And this would be the first row of our triangle. We move the thread before the first corner bead, and we add 2 corner beads, and now we peyote the sides. Pick up a black seed bead, skip the next one, go through the following. Pick up one, skip this one, go through this one. Pick up a bead, skip this one, go through this one. And now again the increase with 2 seed beads over the corner bead, and we continue like this around the circle, and this would be the second row of the first layer. And here we are at the corner, 2 seed beads, go through the next one, and peyote the sides. For the last side, and here we step up, going through the last one and the bead from the increase. This is the end of the second row, and we continue with the third row in the same manner. Let's continue together with the third row, and here we are at the corner, so we add 2 seed beads and peyote the sides. 1, and we just go through the beads from the previous row that sticks out. Okay. The corner, and we make sure the beads turn around and stack up horizontally. Okay. And peyote the sides. And again at the corner we increase with the 2 corner beads, and we continue with the peyote stitch. And here we are going to step up at the last bead of the row, so we go up through 2 beads like this. Okay, and you continue the same with increase with 2 peyote on the sides for 2 more rows. So you can come back when you have 1, 2, 3 and 4 beads on this side. Here we are at the end of the 5th row, where we have added the 4th increase, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we are going to add just 1 seed bead in the corner increase and peyote the sides. For this one, this will be the end, the row that ends the shape. So you can decide, it's up to you, if you want to go with the same color of peyote or a contrast color, or the same color with the corner increase. To make it easier for you to see at the end, when we zip up the 2 layers, the 2 sides of the open triangle, let's try and peyote the sides with the red seed beads instead of the usual black ones. So if you use the black ones, it will look solid like this, while with the red seed beads it will show like an edge. Okay, and we continue with the other 2 sides as well. Only 1 seed bead in the increase line, and peyote the sides. And with this row we finish the first half of the open shape. another seed bead in the corner, and the last side of this 6th row. Obviously you can decide to make it wider, adding more rows of increase, but this would be kind of the minimum number of increases that would allow your shape to show, and in the end easy for you to actually work, to manipulate the work. So this is the end of the first row, of the first side, and now we have to move the thread from here, from the top, up to the first here black seed bead from the lower, from the first row that we've made. And for this we just go like this, and we go out of that one, and it looks like this. Let's see, maybe this way it's easier. Okay, and let's continue. The second side of the shape will be created like from this one, from the bottom up, and we continue with peyote on the sides. Peyote, stitch, and when we get at the corner, the single corner bead, we just go through it. And we continue in the same manner. Peyote with the black beads. Here you have to be careful with the thread that tends to go around the corners or around the other beads, and here you just go through the single bead, and again peyote the third side. The last stitch, and here we have to step up the last peyote stitch of the second side, and here you can see we have to step up. We end actually with the first peyote stitch of the first side, so we have to go through the last two. You can see where the step up place is, because there is kind of a larger gap than the normal gap that you have with peyote stitching. And now we have finished the first row. As you will see, this step up will move down the side. So the first one was here, the next one will be here. And now we continue until we have with step 3 to 5 from the previous side. In other words, we are creating the 4 increases on the sides just in the same manner. Peyote the sides, and it will be easier for you if you push these beads away, and then over the increase line just add 2 red beads. And continue. Is maybe more difficult to see on the camera now what I'm doing. It's easier if you turn to the side so you can actually see the beads that stick out from the previous row that you can use as the base of your peyote stitch. And here we are over the increase line, so we are adding 2 and go through the next black bead from the next side. And again, if it's easier for you, turn it to one side so you can see the peyote base. And now again we are at the increase line over the single bead from the previous row. We are adding 2, and here, so we have 1, 2, 3 increases in the corner. This tells us that we have actually finished our row. So here we have to pay attention to where we place our step up. So if you are looking, you can see here is a bigger gap than here, so this must be the step up place. So bead and go through both of them in the same time. And here we have finished row 3 of the second side with the first increase, and we just continue this way. I'll stay with you for one more row, and then you can do the other 2 rows on your own. So here we place the increase over the 2 of the previous row, the beads stack up nicely. Turn the work to the side so it's easier for you to identify the beads, and pay attention to where the thread goes. Thread goes out. Let's thread it back. And here okay. And here we have another corner increase. And we peyote another side. Again, keep it on the side. The work is quite flexible, so it will be okay. Pull the thread so the new beads actually fall in the place. Okay. And one more. And here we had two increases, and here will be the second increase for the last corner. This means that it will be followed by the step up. So let's try and identify the step up. I put the work on the side. I know that here it will be a peyote. Here we have a bigger gap than here, so here will be the step up. So the side, the last bead of this row followed by the step up, and this row is finished in this moment. So you can see that the color of the second side started to build up like this, 2 more rows, and come back. Here we start the final side of the 4th row, where of increase, where we add the increase. And finish the last few peyote stitches, and here you can tell peyote, peyote, gap. Here we have the step up. Okay, go through the last 2 seed beads, and here we have ended the second side. Your shape should now look like this, with the sides folding one on top of the other. And now we are going to zip up the sides. Now this is the final step of getting our open triangle, with the thread coming out of the last bead that we have added. We are going to take 1 bead from one side, 1 bead from another side, and we are not going to add any more. So 1 bead from the second layer, 1 bead from the first, 1 from the second, 1 from the first. Here we are at the corner. At the corner we are going to have the first bead from the second layer, the top bead, the corner bead, the single one from the first, and we go back to the second bead in the increase, and this is how we zip up the corner. And then we just continue having 1 bead from one side, 1 bead from the other side. And after a while you realize you can go in a diagonal move from one side to the other. Just pay attention at the corners. Anyway, there's no rush. Nobody is chasing you. Okay. Here at the corner, 1 bead, the first bead from the second layer, the single bead from the first one, and back to the second from the second layer, and you can see how the shape closes, and again on the side. And here we are zipping up the last part of the third side. Careful with the thread. So it doesn't catch around other seed beads. And here we are. Oh, careful with the thread. The last beads. And that's it. So here we have our triangle. This is made with obviously round seed beads, which are cheaper, compared with the beautiful, regular, perfect Delicas that are quite expensive. And you can use this shape in so many ways to connect it with other similar shapes, to use it as a component in relationship with some beads, with an inner bead or outside beads or dangles, or the sky is the limit. As long as you have the patience to create them, you can use them in multiple ways. So, thank you for watching. I'm waiting for your comments if anything wasn't clear, or maybe the camera wasn't able to catch very well certain steps. And please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell button to be notified when I make a new tutorial. Thank you.